Hi, welcome to the Lake District Yogi. I'm Kat. Today's flow is called Soft Yoga for Weary Days. You know, those days when you want to move your body, but you don't have a huge amount of energy. Maybe things are just feeling quite heavy and sluggish and you're tired, but you still want to get on your mat. This is the soft, gentle flow for you. Okay, I've got my tea at my mat, obviously, as always, and I've also got two really gorgeous essential oils, cedarwood and lavender. So cedarwood is really grounding. It's got that rich, earthy smell to it, and it just makes you feel so rooted and connected. And then lavender, obviously, for those beautiful feelings of complete calm. So you don't have to bring oils to your mat, but they can really enhance your practice. So especially a soft flow like this, bringing these oils that will really help make you feel lovely and grounded can really, really help. It's absolutely not essential. Neither is tea, but obviously I would say that's non-negotiable. I like to bring my tea to my mat, as you know if you've done any of my classes before. Anyway, as always, feel free to pause this to set up your space and make things as nice and cozy and comfortable as you can. And when you're ready, we'll start in child's pose. So bringing the toes together and the knees apart, and maybe come into this slowly. So maybe start up here and kind of walk your way down and kind of ease in, maybe sway your way in. Let's start as we mean to go on with a real feel of softness to all of this. And then you can let the hands slide away from you, bring the forehead to the mat. This isn't the only way to do child's pose. If you're feeling like you really need extra kind of nourishment and comfort, you can bring your hands round to your feet and rest your forehead down. Then you can reach the arms forward and then bend at the elbows and bring the palms to the head. So each of these just has a slightly different quality to it. So just try and see what feels soft and soothing for you right now. And when you're settled in and you've kind of wriggled that belly down and the forehead is connecting to the earth, just take some slow, deep breaths here. Just connect with your body, connect with your breath. Breathing in and out of the nose. And then once you're settled, maybe inching the fingertips forward and then imagining that you're pushing your sitting bones back towards your heels, feeling that elongation, that length through the spine, the side body, the waist, the ribs. Not reaching so much that you create any form of tension. It's an extension and a lengthening, but we're trying to keep that quality of softness throughout. If you feel the need to give one of those gorgeous releasing, sighing out breaths, then don't hold back. And then if you haven't got the arms forward, softly extend them forward. And then lift the head, take the right arm, thread it underneath the left, palm up, let the palm move away, away, away. And then bring the temple, the right temple, down to the mat. And take a centered, settled breath here. And then slowly and gently lift the head, slide that right arm out, send it forward. Take the left arm, thread it underneath, palm up, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's almost as you move that arm away, the temple comes down naturally by itself. Settle down, take a couple of soft breaths. And then gently lift the head again to slide that left arm out. Send the arms forward again. Place the forehead down. Take another nice soft round of breath. And then lift the head again. Lift the hips. Bring the knees together. And then walk the hands out again. So with the poppy pose, we've got the hips directly over the knees now. Send the arms out in front. Bring that forehead back down. If it feels very comfortable here, you can always bring the chin down, but that gives a slightly more intense feel to this. So you might want to stay with the forehead. And then again, reconnect with the breath. Letting the heart, the chest, just sink towards the earth. And then slowly press into the hands to lift the head. And then move yourself forward onto your elbows. Slide forward to find Sphinx pose. So we've got our forearms parallel. And our elbows underneath our shoulders. Find a soft gaze point, a drishti that feels natural for your head and neck. And then slightly activate your arms. So by that, we're going to imagine that we're sliding the elbows towards the body. So fingertips nice and spread. Everything's still soft. That's the joy of this. It's about finding that activation within the softness. So we're just imagining that we're drawing the elbows towards the body and at the same time letting the heart shine forward. And then notice where you feel that activation, where you feel things lighting up. And again, it's soft. We're not going so far that we're creating anything like tension. We're just finding a little bit of extra energy here. And then if this feels really comfortable, you can straighten the arms. So press into the hands and lift the elbows, straightening through the arms. Really engage the core here. This is much more intense on the lower back. So really draw in that core, keeping everything nice and safe. And if you do have your arms straight, gently rebend the elbows and then move them to the side. Bring the chest down, bring the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, push yourself back to an active child. So the toes are tucked, arms reaching forward. We're just staying here for one round of breath before we flow. Okay, keeping the arms out in front, start to lift the hips. And then round forward, let the hips sink towards the earth. As you breathe out, press back. Slowly letting the hips find the heels. As you breathe in, round forward, let the hips sink. Keep going with your own breath, exhaling to move back. Let's add in some little details. So as you come forward, maybe draw the chin to the chest. And then as the hips start to drop, lift the gaze. So just finding a little bit more fluidity through the spine. Finding that wave-like feeling. And then find a pace that works for you. A pace that will allow this to feel meditative. Just body and movement and breath connected. So just do a couple more like this. Maybe close the eyes. I often like to remove that sense of sight. It helps me go inward and become more focused on the sensations I'm experiencing. Allows me to focus on the journey of the breath We'll do one more like this. Really make this one count. Come back to it if you've started to wander in your mind, which is totally normal. And then settle the hips back down. And this time come up onto the fingertips. So lift the palms, place the forehead down, keep the toes tucked. So we're giving a nice little toe stretch. Settle the forehead back down. And then really kind of find that energy in the arms, that activation. So again, it's still soft, but we're lighting things up. And then let the palms come flat, lift the hips once more, and then work your hands and legs into all fours. So our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And then again, find that drishti, find that gaze point somewhere soft. Maybe it's just beneath your face, maybe it's just in front of your mat. Maybe you've closed the eyes. You know, this is all entirely optional things to just try. You can untuck the toes. And we'll do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So when you're ready, drop the belly and lift the gaze just a little, lift the chin. Take a nice full in-breath here. And then as you breathe out, start to round the spine. And then as you do that, press into the earth with the hands, let the head hang. And as the breath becomes an inhale, lift the tailbone, let the belly drop. Lift the gaze. And again, in the next exhale, press the earth away, round the spine high. Let the head hang. Inhale, lifts the tailbone, that Mexican wave. The belly, then the heart, and then the gaze. Couple more rounds just like this on your own breath. Just feeling into this, feeling into the fluidity, the sensations, the warmth. Okay, next time you come into an arched spine, tuck the toes and lift yourself into downward dog. You might need to adjust your hands and feet here, but that's fine. Just finding the length, the distance between the hands and feet that work for you. Maybe if it's not feeling 100% comfortable yet, trying a different position, maybe letting a bit more space between the hands and the feet. And if the spine feels very rounded, always remembering to bend the knees a lot and lift the hips. That will help ease the backs of the legs and bring the spine into that beautiful long shape. And from there, you can always then work towards straightening the legs. In fact, you can pedal out the feet if you like and give some love to the back of each leg. Nice and slowly, keeping everything soft. And then finding a stillness in our downward dog, however that looks for you. Your heels may be flat on the floor, they may be enormously lifted, your knees may be micro bent or very bent. It's all good. Okay, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So you might want to move them in fractionally so that you can press into the hands. Move yourself back to the back of the mat. Feet are still hip width apart. And then let yourself fold over your legs. You can take your opposite elbows. You can find that delicious sway from side to side. Knees can be as bent as you need. And then find stillness again. Bring the fingertips to the ground and lift so the spine is long. You may need to remove your hands from the ground and bring them to your shins. And then fold back down. I'm going to do a few more like this. Keep a micro bend in the knees if you need. So inhale, find that halfway lift, hands on the legs or the floor. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold over your legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. 2 more like this. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Last one, lift as you breathe in. And fold as you breathe out. Release the hands. You might want to hold the backs of the legs just for a breath. And then bring the hands back and walk yourself back into downward dog. Come up onto the toes, tip forward, find plank. Bend the knees and come back to downward dog. Couple more like this. If you want to add on, this is entirely optional, when you come to plank, you can keep the toes tucked but drip the hips towards the ground. Again, engage the core. This is quite intense on the lower back. And then bend the knees to come back. And one more time. If you're just going to plank, come to plank and then push back. And from here, we're making our way to a seat. You can drop to your knees or you can kind of hop your way through. Bring the legs out in front of you. We'll find Paschimottanasana. I'm just going to have a little sip of tea. So as we get ourselves grounded, we're going to have our toes facing towards us so those legs are active and not just hanging out. And we're going to find some activation. And again, soft, soft, soft. Soft is the key word of this class in case you haven't noticed. So we're lifting through the toes. So the lifts the energy, if you know what I mean. So we're going to lift. We're pressing ourselves into the earth in order to lift. We've got this lovely long spine. We're finding space rather than becoming kind of rigid. We're growing long so we can create space for movement, space for breath, all that gorgeous stuff. Okay, we're going to bring our right leg and bend it. Place the sole of the right foot inside the left thigh. Keep all of that kind of activation and all of that energy. And we're going to fold over this leg. So I know some people like to walk their hands like this. Some people prefer to raise the arms overhead. And then as you fold, it's like a really obvious, place. Your edge, as we call it in yoga, is very obvious. And then you can bring the hands down. You can hold your foot, your leg. Where possible, we're trying to keep that length in the spine rather than worrying about getting our head to our knee. So keep the heart shining. Imagine that beautiful heart center has a light and it's shining, pouring that light forward. Maybe lift the gaze as well to keep that lift, even as we fold forward. And then just settle in here for a breath or two. And keep that gaze soft wherever you're looking, whether you're looking at the ground, past your toes, whether you've closed the eyes and you're looking inward. Maybe there's a fraction movement forward. We don't aim for that necessarily, but quite often once it's settled into a shape, that space just naturally opens up. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Plant your right hand on the outside of your right hip. We're coming up onto this right knee for stargazer. So press yourself up. Peel that left arm open. Feeling that openness throughout the entire of the front body. Hopefully feels really delicious and expansive. And then set the hips back down and we'll switch legs. So right leg goes long, bring the sole of the left foot in, keep the right toes lifted. And then again, either walking yourself down like that or lifting the arms overhead, feeling that length, taking a nice spacious in-breath, and then folding or hinging from the hips till we find our edge, and then letting the hands come down. And then softening, soften everything. Soft through the belly, soft through the face, soft in the heart, soft in the breath. Feel maybe those micro movements that you experience as you breathe. That micro lift on the inhale, that settling on the exhale. Don't miss any of this. It's all beautiful, intricate part of the experience. And slowly, slowly come back up. Plant the left hand this time on the outside of your left hip. And when you're ready, lift yourself up, sweep the arm over. And then slowly sit yourself back down, bring both legs out in front of you, scooch down a little bit so that you can lie on your back. Bring the arms alongside the body, do any adjusting that you need to do, and then ground down through the shoulder blades and the back of the heart, and really make that connection with the back of the heart and your mat. Bring the knees into the chest and then extend the feet. Flex the feet if you can, or you could do a little bit of pointing and then flexing just to get a bit of ankle movement in. And you can keep the arms alongside you on the mat. If you can reach, you can hold your toes, keep a little tuck in the chin. But you don't need to hold your feet, you can just enjoy this really soothing, calming shape. If you've got access to a wall, not necessarily now, but at some other time, you can scoot your bum right up to the wall and you can lie with your legs up against the wall. It can be very soothing. Okay, bend the knees generously. Open the feet, take the outside of the feet with your hands. Find happy baby. So you can pull down onto the soles of your flexed feet, imagining that your knees are moving towards the earth. You can sway from side to side, getting some nice opening in the hips, all while being soothing to our poor, raggedy, fragile nervous systems. Okay, gently release all of that. Draw the knees in, wrap the arms around the knees. You might want to lift your head to your knee, make yourself into a little ball. Cross the feet, will come up to a seat. Place the hands on the knees. Take a round of breath. And then sweep the arms overhead. Move into a twist on the right, so left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Press nice and firmly, create that lift, and then twist from the belly. So when we're feeling frayed at the edges, when our nervous system is feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling anxious or tense, these beautiful slow flows can just do so much good in such a short amount of time. Slowly come back round to the center, lift the arms overhead, let them drape up. And then move into a twist on the other side, so right hand to left knee, finding that length first and then twisting from the belly. Slowly come back round to the center. Inhale the arms one last time. Let the palms touch. Draw the hands down to the heart. Maybe your thumbs sweep the forehead, the nose, the lips. And then maybe bow down, sealing in your practice. Maybe giving yourself a moment of gratitude for taking the time to come to your mat. Soothe yourself. I hope you are okay wherever you are. There will be more classes coming soon. Thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to share my yoga with you. So thank you and have a beautiful rest of your day.